Well, looky here, reindeer. Dontayvion Wicks now looking like a breakout, league-saving, week 5 saving at least, wide receiver play. And this was the number 1 or number 2 preemptive week 1 waiver wire guy, if I remember correctly, when we dropped this bad boy. And Doubs being suspended, if you haven't heard, Romeo Doubs suspended for a game for his conduct that was not assisting or helping the Green Bay Packers prepare for week 5, as he missed and skipped 2 practices. And according to the GM of the Green Bay Packers, unfortunately, we had to make a difficult decision. Not so difficult, is it? To suspend Romeo Doubs for this week's game. Now, there's some underlying info here you really got to absorb and take in. Wicks was taking over. He was rotating and sharing carries and touches. And this is a guy that was climbing already. He was doing so much, so efficient with his target share. On his way up, trusted touchdown source, trusted nose for the end zone, trusted accountable player that Love could lean on when he needed a play. And he was in there 4 big plays. And now all of a sudden, not only does he have the pathway opened up for week number 5, Christian Watson's injured, probably missing multiple weeks. That was a brutal injury. We're hearing he's out for a game or 2. I think it might be a lot longer for Christian Watson. But even if it isn't, the guy can't stay healthy. Christian Watson's out of the way. Doubs was kind of in the way. Commands a lot of starter looks. He's always a practice guy. Russell Wilson, Romeo Doubs, great practice players. But when it comes down to playing on the field during the game, they vanish from existence. This guy was still in the way. Now he's been suspended. The pathway's been opened. The weeds have been moved. The brush has been cut. And you could see a clear path for Dontayvion Wicks. However, here's the most important part. These actions by Romeo Doubs this week, detrimental to the team. These actions that negatively, quote, negatively impacted the team is going to certainly put him in the doghouse. So even upon his return, does anybody think they're just going to hand back the same volume and target share to Romeo Doubs, who didn't help the team prepare for week 5, hasn't been doing well anyway, and Dontayvion Wicks goes out and has a day in week number 5? You think they're handing anything back to Romeo Doubs, who they can't trust? I don't think so. Romeo Doubs going to the mother freaking moon.
Let him cook.
If available, you better run and grab him. What are you doing sitting here?
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Did I say Romeo Doubs? I don't know. Let's redo that. Cut! Dontayvion Wicks to the moon!
Let him cook.
Sometimes I rant. Sometimes I say so many things in one sitting without a breath. You know, you do get jostled inside the noggin once in a while. But yeah, okay. Wicks is going to the moon. Romeo Doubs, cut him. Cut him. Don't send him to the moon. Send him to planet Uranus, because he's not doing anything this year. He really isn't. Because at the end of the day, you're looking at a player that's disappointing on the field, and now he's disappointing up in the noggin. He's disappointing his teammates. He's disappointing everybody. He's not only disappointing you, standing in the way of a win. There's nothing more devastating to your value, nothing more disappointing from a coaching perspective than standing in the way of the entire team. When you stand in the way of the entire team, when you stand in the way of victory, that's when things end up making a very, very big right turn or U-turn, 180-degree turn, whatever kind of turn you feel is a bad turn. That's the turn it's taken for Doubs. And Doubs isn't just going to walk in, okay, everything's good. I took my lumps. I paid my debt to the team society, and I'm just going to walk right back in. Maybe, but not if Wicks goes nuts in week 5. Guess what the team's going to say? Well, damn. If Doubs does this and we can't trust him because we don't know if he's going to do it again, and Wicks does this, and Wicks has already been doing this, I think 1 + 1 = 7.
Let him cook.
So the question you got to now ask yourself is, do I start Wicks or do I start player B? So we will have that discussion today, I'm sure. A lot of Tank Dell and Wicks, and I'm going to continue to say the same answer on that one. And that's going to be Dell's got higher upside for 25 points, more risk of a 3-point game. Wicks has higher upside for that 12 to 15 point game, but his floor is a lot safer and higher. That's basically the nuts and bolts of this thing. Okay, so we'll attack these questions as they come. I've got a couple other pieces of news to go over. This one right here, Anthony Richardson, he just looks like a bench player right now. Look at just even his demeanor, his hunched shoulders, getting scolded. I don't know. I don't know what to say on Anthony Richardson right now. Things don't look good. Anthony Richardson, oblique hip, has been downgraded to doubtful. They want to start Joe Flacco, and we knew that. We talked about that. He'll start against the Jaguars, and pretty good game too for Flacco. That's the way it rolls. That's the way the cookie crumbles, doesn't it? Like, hey, I'm going to give this guy a start. Who you playing? Jacksonville or Carolina? One of the two. That sucks. That sucks for him. Here's another piece of news. This is kind of a surprise clip. Very, very, very downer here. Arizona Cardinals have downgraded Trey McBride to questionable for Sunday's game with the rib injury. So he passes the protocol of the concussion protocol, and now he's questionable with the rib injury. We'll have to keep tabs on that. I don't know what to say. We'll know in the morning, but we got to now monitor the hell out of that situation. We've also got this man, Brandon Cooks, put on IR, will miss 4 games at least. And that means Tolbert season, and I don't want to say it's as good as Wicks' seasons. Wicks could be a league winner. Tolbert could be a nice little plug and play. But Tolbert is a very solid wide receiver that you could grab off waivers if you're in need. There's a lot of you that have these weird wide receiver or running back injury questions, right? Like, I got to play this guy, and I've said, those are awful decisions. Neither. Tolbert might be your answer because Tolbert is going to not have to share with Cooks. And, this is a good thing. That's the news right now. Taysom Hill's also been ruled as out. So that sucks if you were planning on maybe using Taysom Hill. We got CT ESPN posting Davante Adams in Steeler uniform, but then he posts, other stuff as well. So I don't know what he's trying to say right now. No Davante Adams movement. Last word I got on Davante was that the team was trying to figure out how to get the right draft capital right, obviously, and then how to figure out how to get some of the, make sure they can afford the movement of the dead cap and everything, and try and see if they could get a team to pick up enough of it to make it make sense. So that's kind of, I think, where the holding pattern is in as far as Davante Adams. Matt says 2 things. Smitty first added Bo Melton in Dynasty. Yeah, he's still definitely somebody to count on in Dynasty as a decent topic, right? And a good maybe add in a deep league for sure. Dobbs news. Second, who do I stream? Geno, New York Giants, or Flacco? Damn. I'd probably say Flacco, but that's close. Chat, can we vote on a Geno and Flacco, please? Let's get a little vote ski on that if we could. Help our boy Matt. I think I lean on the Flacco side, but Lloyd says pick 2: JSN, Sharps, Braylon Allen, Keon Coleman, or Dunze Akers. I'm probably gonna go with. It's so hard to put Sharps on the bench, but you just don't know. You know, you just don't know what he's gonna get volume wise. It also could be something where Walker does a ton of damage and then they sit him. But then the Giants can put up a fight. Like, anything can happen. It's the NFL. I'd probably say Charbonnet and Keon Coleman. But Lloyd, these are questions that you and I together, even on our best day, we're going to get wrong at least 50% of the time. Like, you're talking about a mixed bag, not just one or two guys, like a mixed bag of all even Steven. One guy can do well one week and bad the next week. 600 of you in here, please subscribe. We're 3 subscribers away from 30,200 subscribers. So we have 197. 30,197. 3 of you punch it. We go to 30.2K on the show right now. Pick 3, Garrett Wilson, Dell, Wicks, Wandell, or Sermon. We just got 1 subscriber. Thank you. I'm going Dell, Garrett Wilson, and Wicks. But it's a very close call. If I had to put like somebody on the bench to throw Wandell in, probably going to be Dell. But I'd rather start Dell personally. I think he's got way more upside to hit that 20-point game. Start 3, MHJ, Wicks, Brian Thomas Jr., Garrett Wilson. Now we're getting into some tough territory. Do you sit Garrett Wilson? It's a tough Minnesota defense. Probably. It's a tough call, but I'm going to say start Brian Thomas Jr., Wicks, and MHJ. Wow, we're really there, aren't we? Sit Garrett. Send JSN for Addison and Flowers. I'm going to say give me Addison and Flowers over one player. Sure. Absolutely, Steven. If the question's different than that, you got to specify. Don't use slashes and assume I understand what a slash means for you compared to other people. If it's for one of them, I guess I would say, if I go back to your question real quickly, this goes for everybody. Don't put a slash if you're trying to like say some kind of and or. Like that's not a universal language in the fantasy football question asking game. I'd say give me JSN over Addison, probably. Very close though. Addison's nice. Flowers, if you get both of them, I do it. If not, I'm keeping JSN. If I'm getting both, I do it though. Just a lot of trade bait in that, and that's really what I'm after. I don't think I'm loving starting any one of them for the long term. I think I'm looking for trade bait. Smitty been talking about Wicks for a minute. Look, we've been talking about Wicks since preseason, okay? And I'll admit there was a time where I didn't know which wide receiver. We did a show where I said, I don't know if it's Wicks. I said, one of these Green Bay wide receivers is going to play like a top 10, top 12 wide receiver. Maybe top 8 to 12 wide receiver. It's taken a little while for it to develop and brew, but I think we have our player. I think it's Dontayvion Wicks, and I think Wicks rises up. I think it's time to let the man fly.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains.
I think it's time to let Dontayvion Wicks fly, and I think everything we said in the preseason is coming true now, just a little delayed. Who are the 2 most overhyped small players that didn't do anything in the beginning of the year? Chase Brown, Dontayvion Wicks. Even after week 1, it was like, I don't know. I thought he was going to do something, but what in the hell's going on here? Now he's back, baby. So is Chase Brown, it appears. PPR, 2 flex, 6-point TD pass. Who wins? Love, Gibbs, Reed versus Kyler, Bijan, Cup, Wicks. Love, Gibbs, Reed versus Kyler, Bijan, Cup, Wicks. Well, it's tough to say, bro, because once Cup comes back and if Bijan gets on his horse, that side will crush. But right now, Love, Gibbs, Reed outplays that because Cup's not playing for multiple more weeks. Bijan doesn't deliver right now, at least. It could change. And, you know, that is what it is. Love and Kyler, very, very arguable. But for right now, that top side wins. Later on, definitely you could switch. Picked up Wicks off waivers in Dynasty this week. Immediately got him an offer for him. A first for him. No thanks, buddy. He says no. Jacob says, I ain't trading. I love it. I love the conviction to Dontayvion Wicks. Dobbs is being a complaining Caleb. Wicks time. That's correct. Jimmy, appreciate you. Jimmy Stacks in the building. 10-man PPR. I have CMC. Would you trade Mason for Debo and one other? It depends on the one other, bro. But Mason and Garendo together is better than just Debo right now because of the RB factor. However, if you don't have Garendo or, you know, depends on that other, bro. Start 2. BT, Olave, Wicks, and Tyreek. Look, Brett, this is on you, bro. You made your own bed. Don't put me in this bed. I can't make a decision like this on the weekly and get it right. I'm just telling you right now. You need to make a trade. You need to make a trade for your own good. Sitting on this each week is like sitting on a roll of quarters. A roll of quarters at the arcade. And they don't even take quarters anymore. Brett, you got to figure something out. Start 2. I don't know. Let me put on a blindfold, Brett. I'm going to say Wicks and Tyreek Hill. But how do you sit Olave? How do you sit BT? This matchup's beautiful for BT. You know, but how do you sit Tyreek Hill? Brett, you got to make a move. You can't keep sitting on that like it's going to turn into a one starter like a Transformer or a Voltron. It's not just going to turn into one guy. Brett, it's going to sit there and remain 7 players. Love you, bro. Start 1. Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison, or Wicks. I'm going Wicks, bro. We're going to go Wicks. We're doing it live. Appreciate you. Gregory says, Wandell, Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going Brian Thomas Jr. Do 1 in 10 scale. How does Wicks pick up? Wait, what? Scale of how good Wicks pickup is. Oh, how good the pickup is. I would say how good. Oh, I get what you're saying. Pickup of the week. First of all, he shouldn't really be available in as many leagues as some of you are seeing, but I guess he is. So if you pick up Wicks, that's a 9 potentially. Like, he's got that much upside of being the best pickup of the week. Mason's a 10. Mason's top shelf. Mason's 10. Wicks is a 9 capability. Braylon Allen right now feels like an 8, but potential 10 if he was the starter. So, yeah, buddies. Thank you, Young. Appreciate you. Wild Bill says, start 1, Coleman, Dell, Jennings, Tolbert. Probably going with Dell, bro. Very, very easy call for me. Maybe harder call for other people. Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, or Wicks. Probably going to roll. I don't know. Can we get a vote on this one? Guys, Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Wicks, please vote. I'd say Wicks is safest, but Jacobs is hard to sit. I want you to find a way to start both of them because I think Jacobs could have a day, but Wicks is the safest of the trio. But let's see what the chat says. Vote on it. We got an Aaron Jones vote. That's the New York Jets matchup, though. Ayuk, McLaurin, Wicks, Wandell, Hunt, Chase Brown, full PPR, pick 3. Ayuk, Wicks, and probably McLaurin for safety. Kareem Hunt for a weird mix of, I think, steady, safe production, but he's got double touchdown production. He just does. Chase Brown, I love him, but maybe not right here. Maybe you're trading away guys to start him or trading him away. But Wicks and Ayuk feel locked. It's really McLaurin and Hunt. And if the chat would like to vote on McLaurin, Hunt, McLaurin, please vote in the chat. Hunt or McLaurin, who you starting for Derek? Do it live. Appreciate you, Derek. Wicks or Pittman? I mean, anything can happen, especially with a QB change. You know, Pittman could reemerge in a big way. But I'm going to go Wicks. Who would you like more? Need to start 3. McLaurin, Debo, Deontay Johnson, Keon Hill. I'm going to go Hill, Worthy. Wait, what? Start 3. First of all, Debo shouldn't be in this question. What are you doing? Debo, so start 2. Come on, put some respect on Debo's name, bro. This is ridiculous. You're putting him into names like JSN, and I like those guys, Deontay, but come on, bro. Debo, who are you starting? 2 other players, Tyreek Hill, and it comes down to McLaurin, Wicks, Worthy. Wicks and Worthy are near dead tied for me this week. I don't know how you even decide that. You got to make a trade, Diego. Again, your team's not going to turn into a transformer and become 1, 2, or 3 players. They can't join. They can't conjoin. You got to do something, bro. You're going to have to make a move. I say this very loosely. I can't sit Worthy. But I also can't sit Wicks, but I can't sit Worthy a little more. That's the only thing I can tell you, Diego. You're going to have to make a trade. These are 2 guys that should be in your lineup, Wicks and Worthy. Traded ETN and Braylon Allen for Jacobs. They could go either way, Racing Boy. Again, this is a big week for ETN. He either bounces back to a top 5 running back, which is going to make you just absolutely lose your shit, or he falls off the face of the earth, Bigsby takes over. So it's tough to say. It's a really even trade for me. I like Jacobs a tiny bit more right now, but that could change with the game, and I'm hoping it does, to be honest with you. Start Zach Moss or Chase Brown. I'm going Chase Brown. It feels like he's taken over. Start Chase Brown or Ford. I'm going to go Chase Brown, but that's a close one. Really close one, Superfish. Thank you. Start 2, Wicks, Garrett Wilson, Dell. I'm going Dell and Wicks. I'm putting Garrett Wilson matchup against the Vikings on the bench. It's a tough call. Horton, appreciate you. I have Reed. I'll pick up Wicks. Who to roll with? What about Kraft? I mean, I hate to say sit one because they're a Packer. Kraft's a good play. Reed's a must start. And Wicks is also an elite player. I don't mean to say Wicks is taking Reed's job when I say that they found a guy could be top. I like Reed. Reed is top 15. He's top 12 maybe. But we have another guy that dances in the territory, and Jordan Love's capable of supporting 2 top 15 wide receivers. He really is. We just might see it from week 5 on. So at the end of the year, will Wicks be in the top 12? Probably not. But will he play in the 12 to 15 range? He could. But you can't sit Reed. Do we want all 3? I have Laporta, McBride. McBride's now banged up again, so you're going Laporta next week, but he's banged up again, so you don't know what to do. You might have to put Kraft in there because you're not going to maybe have McBride. Monitor McBride, see if McBride's going to go. Maybe make a trade next week when Laporta's back because you have a great, trade piece there. But you have to monitor McBride. He's now questionable. He's been downgraded. Kraft would be a great pickup and play. Maybe you can put McBride if he gets ruled out. I don't know if your IR allows you to put a player on IR if they're out or if they have to be on IR. But I would say I don't mind you grabbing Wicks, but I don't really know the details of this to say put so-and-so on the bench. If you're putting Reed on the bench, no. You got to start Reed. I like Wicks a lot, though. Kraft is fantastic. Downs, Worthy, Addison, Chase Brown got 1 wide receiver and a flex spot open. You're going to go Worthy, and you're going to go probably Addison for safety, Chase Brown for high risk, high reward, depending on what you need to win the week. If you're projected to win, you just need steady Eddie, then Addison's pretty good. And he came off a huge game. How do you sit him, But I'd probably say Chase Brown's got the higher upside. By the way, we hit 30,200 subscribers. We're officially at 30.2.
Let him cook.
Appreciate you all for hitting that subscribe button. Olave, Pickens, Dell, Wicks, Worthy, Leggett. Also trade Olave for Adams and hope for the moon. I do not. Also, I have Coleman and Ridley secured on the bench. Okay, so start 4. Olave, Dell, Wicks, and Worthy. And it's hard to put Pickens on the bench. You need to make a trade because you're going to probably get that wrong on the weekly. Pickens is nice trade value. And it's hard to answer that question week in and week out. It's going to be very, very hard. 3 more subscribers. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. 2 QBs. 10-man. PPR. JD5, AR5, Garrett Wilson, Evans, Nico, Debo, Mason, Moss, Pickens. Good team. IR. Offered Moss, Pickens for Achan. I would take Achane in a millisecond over Pickens and Moss. I would stick with that trade and say, you know what? Throw in what could you throw in? I'd do Garrett Wilson for Achane. You know, and if you got to throw like Garrett Wilson and Moss together eventually instead of Pickens, I do that. I'm going to say stay the course on trying to get that done. I also love Tyreek Hill for a lot of you, and I look at a team like this and I say, does Pickens and Moss get Tyreek Hill? If it does, that maybe wins the league. So Tyreek Hill is a great play right now, bro. Also go after an out and also banged up A.J. Brown. Start one, Kirk, Leggett, Shaheed, Garrett Wilson. I can't sit Garrett Wilson in this situation, but I would for Wicks. Appreciate you all. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Wicks is a fantastic play this week, ladies and gentlemen. A freaking fantastic play. Reese, appreciate you dropping the super chat. Reese says, I'm 3-1. Need to make any moves. How about maybe Deontay Johnson on the high, or Lab McConkey has a little value with a Jacobs to get that Achane or that running back upgrade. How about that? How about maybe Jacobs and I mean that's really what it is. It's trading that combo right there. That's what I'm doing if I'm you. Jacobs and Wicks, even if you have to trade Wicks after you just got him, the hype is big. You go after a Tyreek Hill using Jacobs and Wicks. You go after a Tyreek Hill using Deontay Johnson and Jacobs. You maybe use Bijan to go get Tyreek Hill straight across if you want to get out of that mess. Trent, you're live. What can I do for you, Trent?
Bro, just a trade question or two trade questions. Is that cool?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so someone offered me Olave, Kenneth Walker, and Javonte Williams for my Moss, Mason, and
I don't think you know the trade, bro. I don't think you know the trade.
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking for it. Oh, and for Pollard.
I'm not trading. Damn. As much as I don't want to trade Mason, do you have Grendo first of all? If you have this side.
No, but I am a CMC owner.
Okay, I would rather have Walker and Olave than just Mason with no Grendo. But it's not that I don't love this Mason value, but Walker's close to him anyway, and you're getting Olave. So you're keeping Olave. So that's an easy call for me, bro. You're trying to buy Mason too high. All right. Trent, you don't sound happy. He hung up. He doesn't like the advice he's getting, so he hung up. He said, I was expecting Smitty to agree with me, so I'm going to disconnect the phone call. I'm going to hang up on Smitty. I don't like this. I don't like the way Smitty, you should be telling me what I want to hear. Balake, you're live.
Hey, was Shakir out this week? Would you rather trade for Coleman and give away Tank Bigsby to get him? Do you think this would be a good opportunity to make a trade like that, or do you still want Tank Bigsby?
Bro, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think trading for Coleman right now, I don't know. You know, you either picked him up and you held strong, or you just didn't believe in him and you got to let him go. Like, I don't know that I'm trading for Coleman right now. I think like to get if you could get him cheaply, but like I like Bigsby. I like the running back option. I don't know that I'm going to make that move. I love Coleman. I own him in so many leagues. I don't think I would give up a running back opportunity with the running back landscape the way it is. But if you could get him cheaply, and let's say you're set at RB, that's cheap enough, I suppose. But there's still a chance that Bigsby takes over and is a starting running back for the Jaguars. I just don't know that you want to give that up. if you're giving up, let's say, somebody on the decline like a Zach Moss, who I still think has got upside, he could still retain the job, similar to the way Rachaad White might have. We'll see. I don't know. But I think Bigsby's a hot commodity right now. And Tank Dell is not yet. He might be this week. Shakir being out might set him up for that. Sure. It's kind of similar to Wicks. Coleman's going to get a lot of work, and Wicks is going to get a lot of work. These are two very big potential breakout weeks for both of them. But I just think it depends on your running back situation. Do you need a running back more than you need Coleman?
The answer is yes.
Okay. So don't chase the fun play, chase the smart play, in my opinion. But I like Coleman a lot. But you got probably an opportunity to pick him up in another league, I bet. Coleman's probably out there in a lot of leagues. I venture to say, if I look up the share percentage. So go have your fun in another league, in my opinion.
All right, deal. All right, thanks.
Yeah, later, bro. Coleman, let me see. Coleman's later, bro. Coleman's availability, he's rostered in... He's 30 to 35% available. That's still a big amount. Bryson says start 2. Jennings, Chase Brown, Dell. Give me Chase Brown and Dell. Jennings is safe, but he's not. His upside's capped right now. Appreciate your super chat. Travis, you're live, Travis.
Hey, Smitty.
What's up?
Just a couple quick trade questions. So I'm pretty set at running back in this league. I have Gibbs, Monty, Walker, and Charbonnet. In that sense, and I just lost Rice, so I need some wide receiver help. Would you trade B-Rob and McConkey to get Garrett Wilson and Wicks?
B-Rob and McConkey to get Garrett Wilson and Wicks. Yes, I probably would. Yeah.
Okay. And then on the other side of it, if he has JT. He was talking about wanting Sermon from me. Would you throw Javonte in on the other side just to get a running back and put Sermon in?
Yeah,
I
I don't care about Trey Sermon.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll take a look at that. And then and real quick, would you give up Puka and Ridley to get Coleman, or should I be looking for a little more?
For Coleman, Keon Coleman, I think if we're buying Keon Coleman that high, I think we're overspending. I'm not saying I don't love where Coleman's values could go, should go, but Puka Nacua, man, I mean, he's still coming back. I don't think I would trade Puka that low. I like holding on to Puka Nacua.
All right, so a little more than that. All right, appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Travis. Appreciate you. Call back if you got another. Woody, you're live real quick. Woody.
I got 3 good wide receivers to trade. Nico Collins, Drake London, A.J. Brown. I need an RB2. I got Aaron Jones, but I got Rachaad White too, so I need to make a trade.
Achan.
For which wide receiver should I trade? A.J. Brown because he's injured?
Well, he probably won't be injured after the bye week. And if you make the move now, I'm okay with it. But if you wait, then he's bye week free, and then you gave up that opportunity. So name your running backs. You got Gibbs. Who else?
Well, I got Aaron Jones, not Gibbs.
Oh, I traded Aaron Jones.
And I got Rachaad White.
Okay. So name your receivers again.
Nico Collins, Drake London, A.J. Brown.
As much as I like London, and I do, I don't know that A.J. Brown, you're going to get the most bang for your buck. I'd probably say I'm maybe trading London to try and get, maximize. And you could go after a handful of RBs, bro.
Yeah, I like Josh Jacobs.
I don't like that, though. I like Jacobs, but I don't like him for giving up one of those wide receivers. Absolutely not. Unless you were to get more. If you get more, sure, but that's not a fair trade. If you're drafting today, there's no way they're on the same playing field. JT injured is interesting. I think that's one I would look at. I would contemplate. But I would say, Jordan Mason, if you could get Garendo, JT, Kyron, of course. Bijan's tempting, but it's also risky, but it's tempting. Breece Hall, you have to give up a little bit more. Not way more, but a little bit more. But those are the avenues I'm going down, bro. I'm not going to Jacob. I like Jacobs, but I think that you need to get more. If you could get more, maybe. Tyreek Hill and an ETN or something. Like, you know, that'd be interesting. Yeah, like could you go to the Tyreek Hill owner? What running back do they have? Might be a quiet, good running back acquisition, but you're really replacing the wide receiver you're giving up.
They got Joe Mixon. They got James Conner.
I mean, is Benson on waivers? I'd be tempted to take Hill and Connor for like AJB or London. I'd trade London for Connor and Tyreek Hill if Benson's on waivers. I mean, think creatively too. Don't just think one dimensional. You know, maybe there's a way to. All right, bro. Got to run. Come back if you got something. Bruce, you're live.
Got you. Thanks, man.
Brucey.
Smitty,
Yo.
I got a question for you. Would you trade Keon Coleman for Rashid Rice, the one on the Saints?
That's not Rashid Rice. That's Shaheed.
Shaheed.
And his name's not Rice. Shaheed. What are you? Not all players are the same, Bruce. Not anybody that starts with an R that has a Rashi, are all the same type of person. You know, the Rashid Rice on the Saints.
I get up at like.
Oh my God.
I don't get done work till like 7
You
in the
know,
morning. So
you know the guy.
I'm just rolling out of bed.
You know the guy, the Rashid Rice on the Saints, the version they have of Rashid Rice. That guy. That version.
That guy, yeah.
What are we doing, Bruce? What are we doing?
Just rolling out of bed.
Okay, so the Saints, Rashid Rice versus who?
Keon Coleman.
I'd rather have Keon Coleman than an imitation Rashid Rice.
Yeah, because I was just rolling out of bed and the guy offered me that, and I was like,
You're like, you're trying to
I
look
don't
him
know.
up. You're like, Rashid Rice. I can't find him. I can't find any news
I
on him.
can't find him.
All right, hey Bruce, you
Yeah,
got it. I would take Coleman. All right, bro, appreciate you. We miss having you call in. Call in more often. Later. Bruce, you know the Rashid Rice on the Saints. They're all those players are the same that start with R. $20 hauler from Ray. Love the show. Appreciate the advice. Watching all the way from, man. Appreciate you. Military man. Appreciate your service. Currently 11 p.m. here. Stayed up watching live. Give you props for Mason and JD5 to the damn Mars. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the $20 hauler.
To Mars.
Appreciate your service and protecting us as we can watch this game of football. Thanks to you. And thank you for the props on Mason and JD5. I assume you're smashing your league with those two picks, and congratulations. PPR, flex, cut, steal, or Zamir. Flex, cut, steal, or Zamir for Sermon Tolbert. I cut either one of those three. I want Hunt over Steele right now. Not that it can't change. Phone lines are closed, by the way. But Tolbert's the play here. He's the better, safer, better option. Flowers, Wicks, Wilson, Collins start two. I'm going to go Collins and Wicks of these combos here. Lost Rashid Rice. Do you mean the Rashid Rice on the Chiefs or the Rashid Rice on the Saints, John? You got to be extra clear because I don't know which one you're talking about. It could be either one. I'm going to assume it's the Rashid Rice on the KC Chiefs. Although he might be back, maybe. Trade AJB for Devontae Adams and Brian Thomas Jr. Trade AJB for Devontae Adams and Brian Thomas Jr. Very close. I'd rather have AJB, personally. Especially with the bye out of the way, the bye week out of the way. I mean, if you could execute this now, I guess that doesn't matter. But Devontae's not playing. He's going to probably have a bye unless he gets traded to the Eagles, who have already had their bye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'll probably say, as much as I like BT, I'm keeping AJ Brown. Non-start one. BT or Wicks. Non-start one. I don't know what the hell that means, bro, with this word salad. But I'm going to say give me Give me Wicks over BT by a hair, but I love both of them. Both of them should be in your lineup. Start Mahomes or Fields. I'm going Mahomes. The matchup's nice for Fields. I don't blame you, but I'm going Mahomes. Pick 2. Worthy, Cooper, Wicks, and Dell. I'm going to go Worthy. I'm going to go Worthy and Wicks for safety. Worthy and Dell for higher risk, higher upside. You're down. You need a big swing, etc. But safety would be Wicks over Dell. Start Roschon Johnson at the Panthers or Davis at the Texans. Probably Roschon. But I don't love either play, but probably Roschon. They're decent plays, but I don't, the matchups, but they're not great plays, if that makes sense. Start 1 wide receiver and 2 flex and a PPR. I'm going to go with my wide receiver. I'm going to go with McLaurin. And my 2 flex plays would be James Cook and probably Pittman in this matchup. Deontay's banged up. I just don't know how I feel about that. Just traded my Kamara for K9. You know what? If you feel Deontay, go Deontay. Because I'm a little biased against Deontay, I admit it. But that's what I would do, Pittman. But I would, if you want Deontay, I'm fine with that over Pittman. Smitty just traded my Kamara for K9 Williams. Is that J-Mo Williams? You got to be more clear, bro. K9 Williams. I'm assuming you mean J-Mo and Kenneth Walker. I can't assume you mean Kyron and K9, or I can't assume K9 Williams is Kenneth I don't know. I don't know what we're saying here. I would say give me K9 and J-Mo, I suppose, if that's what the trade is. I think that's what you're trying to say. Start 2 Dell Waddle. I believe it's Waddle. Dell and Waddle, Coleman, Sutton, Chase Brown. I'm going to go Dell and probably Coleman for safety, Waddle for higher risk, higher reward. Dell is locked in for me. That's what I'm doing with that. Appreciate you. My K9 and J-Mo for his Jamar Chase Laporta. Bro, I mean, Chase Laporta crushes. No offense to my boy K9, but that crushes. I take that side. I already have JJ Olave. Yeah, I definitely do that. That's a great trade. Don't let Laporta's value deceive you. Pick 1 flex, full PPR, 4 downs or Ayuk. I got to go Ayuk in this situation. I go Wicks over Ayuk just to give you an example of something wild. JSN, Tank Dell, and Wicks start 2. Give me Wicks and Tank Dell. Not saying that that's not a good side to have on the other side, but trade Bijan, MHJ, Wicks for CD, Garrett Wilson, Chase Brown. Bijan, MHJ, Wicks. Give me Bijan, MHJ, Wicks, CD, Garrett Wilson, Chase Brown. I guess the CD side by a hair. Or try Bijan for CD. Of course I would do that. You'd have to give up a little bit more, and I would certainly rather go that route. Walker, MHJ, and Brooks. Ferguson. Okay, what's number 2? JD5 and Ferguson for Walker or MHJ. Bro, I don't understand what you're saying with this. You got to stop trying to jam 8,000 questions into one because it's so confusing. JD5 and Ferguson for Walker or MHJ Love Ferguson for Walker, Olave, and Brooks. What in the hell does this say? It's a word salad. JD5 and Ferguson for Walker or... Okay, so you're saying JD5 and Ferguson for Walker. It depends on your QB situation. I love JD5. You're probably taking Walker if you're good at QB. Or do I like MHJ Love Ferguson for Walker, Olave, Brooks? MHJ Love Ferguson for Walker or Walker, Olave, Brooks. I probably like Walker, Olave, Brooks. But Magic, there's too much going on here. I can't even see straight. I don't know which one I'm telling you to do over the other. But I think I answered them all individually. But I can't process which one of the combination I feel is best out of all those scenarios. But I think I took care of it, gaming. Appreciate you. Trade my Pollard and Chandler for Wicks and Eckler. I'd rather have Wicks and Eckler just because of Wicks, to be honest with you, bro. I was able to sell high on Jordan Addison for A.J. Brown earlier. Absolute smash, and thank you for the congrats, my guy. Meek, appreciate you. Higgins or Downs with Flacco upgrade. I'm probably going to go Higgins, But, bro, that's one of those things I easily could see being wrong about. Like, so if you have a gut feeling and downs, go downs. 10-man PPR, Kyren, Mason, CMC, Swift. Okay. What do you do? Trade for Debo? Who to trade for Debo? If you want Debo, you give Adams. You want Debo, you give T. Higgins and Swift. Throw in Stevenson. Chuba Hubbard and T. Any of those combos. Smash. I'd be tempted to even throw like Swift, Chuba, and the wide receiver. Need help. 12 team. Gino, Achan, Ford, JJ, Rashee Rice, Pacheco, Monty. Playing without defense. Who to drop for a defense? Your worst player, bro, is probably Shaheed, a.k.a. the Rashee Rice over in New Orleans. So, yeah, that's the easy call. Easy call. There's no other player I'd rather drop on that roster. He's an imposter anyway. Trade Ford for Wicks. I'd rather have Wicks. Definitely. Wide receiver, yeah. Wicks to the moon, bro. This is a Wicks show. You're going to find very few no to Wicks comments from me on a Wicks show. This is a Wicks breakout party show. MHJ, Pickens, Wilson, and Wicks start 3. MHJ, Wicks, and probably Pickens because of the matchup for Garrett Wilson. But I do hate putting Garrett Wilson on the bench. Should I offer Garrett Wilson and Brooks for Cooper Kupp? I'd probably say no, Shelly, because as much as I love Kupp, like, I don't know. Can you wait on this? Is this you have embarrassment of riches on the bench and this doesn't even hurt your lineup? If that's the case, I would rather have Kupp. If you're going to be waiting on Kupp and you get hit with the Garrett Wilson situation, you don't have a Wicks to go in there. If you have a Wicks, then maybe. Brooks is also not a guarantee to come back anytime soon and be effective and take the job over right away. I guess I would rather have Kupp at the end of the day if you can afford to do this. So that's my complicated answer. However, can you survive till week 7 or 8? Because that's when Kupp will be, on his horse. I need a flex play between Ayuk, BT, and Wicks. I lean Wicks, bro. Ayuk is hard to sit, though. He's very solid, but Wicks, a.k.a. Baby. I don't know what his nickname's going to be here on this channel. Wicks is Quicks. I don't know. We'll have to figure out something. Pick up Keon Coleman or Bigsby off of waivers. This goes back to the same question we were talking about. Like, Bigsby is a running back option that's a little bit safer at the end of the day, but I love both of them. Just sold my bench for Mixon. You just sold your bench for Mixon. Now I'm set at running back. You ain't set at anything, Allen. Mixon's hurt. He might be out multiple weeks still. How'd you sell your whole bench and now get set at running back? Now I'm set at running back with Mixon. I don't think so, bro. Mason, CMC, Kamara. I like your Mason and Kamara, though, bro. Caleb Williams. Would you trade Mixon for Stroud? Absolutely. Would I trade Mixon for Stroud and Mooney? What world do you live in, Allen, where Mixon's got this kind of pull? He's got you wrapped around his finger, Allen. You think Mixon solved your problems, and now the person next to you thinks he can solve their problems. Would I take Stroud and Mooney for Mixon? You bet your bottom dollar I might take Mooney straight up for Mixon. I might take Stroud. I would definitely take Stroud straight up for Mixon. Allen, you go do this deal and you go do it now, young man. You go do it now. Downs versus Dell this week. I'm going Dell, but I understand the allure. Pick one, full PPR, Moss, Sermon, or Ford. I'd probably go Ford. Traded my Ford for Garrett Wilson. I love that. I love that risk. I take that all day long. Flex BT, Tyreek, or Bigsby. I'm not sitting Tyreek Hill in that situation. We got a $20 hauler from Tater. Lost Rice. Which Rice? The New Orleans Saints Rice, according to Bruce? Lost Rice, want to upgrade at flex. Lamar, Mason, Kyren, Lamb, MHJ, Laporta, Monty, Higgins. Very good team. Very good team. I think Higgins is potentially your way out. Chubb looking to package an AJB, Achan, Amon Ra, maybe Kupp, Puka. What do it? Let's see. Achan. I would love to see you get Monty Higgins turned into Achan, turned into a Barkley, turned into somebody like that. Barkley's going to be hard to get, but you know what I'm saying. Breece Hall on the low. Monty and Higgins, Monty and Higgins and Addison. Chubb, throw him in there. Monty and Higgins, or Monty. I don't trade anybody else. Monty, Higgins, and Addison. I don't touch the first line there. Kyron, Lamb, MHA, Laporta, Mason. I don't touch that. It's Monty, Higgins, and I'm going after Tyreek Hill. I don't care if you want to go after RB or not. That package can get it done. Go after Tyreek Hill, then maybe you flip something else later for an RB. But Tyreek Hill, I go after Bijan with the Higgins and Monty package if you want to take a gamble. But you could always just keep Monty and say, I like Monty more than Bijan right now. I'm understanding of that. I don't know how I feel about that long term, but I understand that. Achane, I go after Achane, and I go after Breece Hall. And I probably go after, that's JT injured. If you want to go after a running back upgrade. If you want to go after a wide receiver upgrade, go get Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is fantastic for that. A.J. Brown injured is also a very good move in that situation. Need to, Stevenson, Chase Brown, Coleman, Dell. I'm going Dell, and Stevenson's on the bench. I'm going Dell and Coleman. Dell and Coleman, or Dell and Chase Brown. Chat, can we vote on Chase Brown or Coleman this week? Coleman, Chase Brown, Coleman. Chat, please decide for B-Man. B-Man, I want to give you the chat vote, not mine, because it's too close to call on that one. 12-team PPR redraft. Josh Allen, Bijan, Kyron, Mike Evans, T. Who to flex this week? Javonte Jennings. Who the hell's XL? Xavier Legette. Okay. Still a new nickname if that's what his nickname is. XL. I'm going Legette. I'm going XL. I'm going XL. But that's a great question. Is that what we're calling him? XL? It's not bad. I don't mind that. He is XL. He's a big boy. 10 team league, 1 and 3. 3 flex, 1 QB. Murray, JT, Jacobs, Gibbs, Benson, Brown, Sermon. Okay. Any moves? Look, Amon Ra, Cup, Debo, Evans, Dell, Higgins. Very good team. Very good. JT, Jacobs, Gibbs. Honestly, there's not much to do here. But Jacobs, Chase Brown, Higgins to move. Jacobs and Higgins, throw in Chase Brown. You're going after Achane. You're going after Bijan. You're going after Tyreek Hill, Jordan Mason, Bryson. Those are the buy lows. And if we go on over to the wide receiver buy lows, you can see there's others. There's Tyreek Hill. There's Marvin Harrison Jr. Neighbors as a concussion. And, you know, I got people that just chime off in my comment section. It's so funny. It's so funny. People, they don't listen. I did a whole show where we said, I don't even bother saying, I wouldn't trade Neighbors right now, Smitty. In my league, well, I play in such a good league, no one's trading Neighbors, or I wouldn't trade Neighbors. No one cares. I'm sorry, but no one cares. Don't act like leagues don't do stupid things. I see it every day. Like, it's so annoying to me when someone says, Smitty, that won't happen, when I literally see it happen every hour. I see it happen every hour. I have screenshots. People have trade offers up. Do I accept this? And I'm like, why wouldn't you accept this already? You're getting Neighbors. So don't sit in my comments and say this can't happen. You have no idea. You know nothing, Jon Snow, about the rest of the world outside of your world. Stop it. Stop. It's so annoying. I'm not even going to comment. You'll notice that when you comment about, my league doesn't do this, or, Smitty, I'm sorry. I got this comment in my last video, like 3 of them. Smitty, I love you and all. Smitty, I like most of your videos. Very underhanded. I like most of your videos, but no one's trading Neighbors. I wouldn't trade Neighbors. Clearly you didn't watch the video because the big segment was about you. In that stance. I don't care. I don't care. People trade dumb trades all the time. I see Neighbors getting acquired every hour on the hour in a screenshot offer that's sitting there waiting for the person that's asking me, should I take this? And I'm like, yes, smash it. The person's 1 in 3. They can't afford to wait on Neighbors. They're 0 and 4. Neighbors is sitting there for the taking. Stop acting like you're so special with your league. Your league's too good for this. It's too good for Neighbors to get traded. Kyron has a bye, and 1 and 3 trade him for Breece rest of season. I would rather have Kyron than Brees right now, but that could change at the drop of a hat. Just know that it's that close. Trust your gut on that. Wicks to Mars, absolutely. Segment, appreciate your super chat. Bryson, thanks again for your super chat. Jacobs and Higgins, and honestly, Cup and Jacobs for a top 5 guy if you need to get that done to just get out of the wait on Cup game. But your team's so deep, you don't need to make any moves whatsoever. You could literally sit on all that. Connor, Chuba, Kenneth Walker, MHJ, Pickens, Wicks, move some pieces and look to make a move now. I look, I think your team needs something. Connor and Pittman, Connor and Wicks, Connor and Pollard. I just don't know that there's a lot of ability to trade. Connor and Pickens for Tyreek Hill on the low. Connor and Pickens for MHJ. Connor and Pickens for Bijan, Dowda Bijan. Connor and Pickens for a Achan. Or maybe you go after injured JT. Those are all moves I would try and attempt to make on the buy low level there, pal. Appreciate you. Would you drop Doubs? Yes, I would. For Melton, if it's dynasty. For redraft, I'd rather pick up someone else. I don't know about Melton yet. Melton's interesting, but more so in dynasty. Start Downs or McLaurin. I'm starting McLaurin, but bro, that could go either way. It could really, I could see Downs having a long touchdown with QB change. It happened last year too. Which side wins? Achane plus Wright or Chase Brown plus Moss plus Devontae Adams? The Achane side by a mile, bro. You know me by now. I'm an Achane guy. I'm 1-3. Hard to wait on Achane. It's hard to wait on Achane, but is it easier to wait on Adams, who's not playing this week? Like, sheesh coin, think about what you're saying. Can't wait on Achane, Smitty. Okay, you can't wait on Achane, but what are you doing? You're putting in Chase Brown. What if Zach Moss scores the touchdowns and Chase Brown does nothing? I can wait on Achane. Why are we waiting on Achane? Maybe Achane bounces back this week now that Mostert's in the lineup getting all that grunt work. Now Achane can decide to go back to his wide back role where he's getting a lot of good, amazing open space touches, bro. You know, don't discredit Achane on your roster like that. Melton or Tolbert, give me Tolbert this week. Melton's interesting though. He's definitely a longer season play and dynasty play. Thank you for the blank $2 hauler runs. Appreciate you. I am out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back tonight for another show, a Start Bench show. Appreciate all your super chats. You guys absolutely rock. We hit 30.2K tonight on the show right now. We have 30,210 subscribers. I'll see you all tonight. Appreciate you. If anybody drops a super chat on the way out the door, I can't help that. Please put it in the comments. Not the live chat. Put it in the comments and get my attention. Don't fake it, or I won't answer any of your questions in the future. But if you drop a super chat and I miss it, make sure you understand you dropped it in the 11th hour there, and I will answer it. Appreciate you all.